been punished. We're still at the governor's retreat. Right now, they've gone on a recess, and we're back shortly.
There for us live, that's Neil Taigbe at the Nigeria Governors Forum retreat. We'll join them much later, but let's continue with our top stories this hour. The House of Representatives has warned of its intention to confront anyone responsible for withholding funds meant for troops in the troubled northeastern part of the country. The Speaker of the House, Aminu Tambuwal, made this clear while meeting with a delegation of the alumni of University Unity Schools Old Students Association in the National Assembly. Mr. Tambuwal promised that the House will continue to support the executive in the efforts to bring to an end the crisis in the northern part of the country.
We cannot commandeer troops. We can only pass resolutions. We can only appropriate funds. We can, of course, oversight the implementation. But we have our limitations in following the money, in following appropriated funds. And that's why I said in my speech that we may have to find, even as parliamentarians, new ways of improved oversight so that we can ensure that what is meant for the welfare of our soldiers who have given in their life, they have surrendered their life, they have committed their life to this country, should be improved. A situation whereby we appropriate funds for our men to be well taken care of, to be well kitted, and for them to have the best of arms. And then somebody somewhere is playing politics or is not implementing that appropriation. It's not applying those funds judiciously. It's unacceptable. And we are ready to take on whoever is involved in that. Very soon, by the time we come back, we are going to have some motions that are talking about welfare of our men on the field, because we have received several complaints from soldiers that they are not getting what is due to them.
We're now taking you live back to the Nigeria's Governors Forum retreat taking place at the Echo Hotel, where our correspondent Neil Taigbe is currently interviewing a leading businessman and financial analyst Bismarck Rewane. But before then, he is currently speaking with Ms. Malam Nuhu Ribado.
Things they've talked about is unemployment being the main cause of insecurity, especially in the northern part of the country. And today, this morning, we heard about explosions in Maiduguri. We heard about the Giwa barracks being ambushed. Yeah. What's your take on this?
Well, this is exactly the situation of our country today. It's sad, it's tragic. As we are now in this program, an ongoing attack is still happening in Maiduguri. University of Maiduguri is also under attack. Our thoughts and prayers must be with them, with the people of Maiduguri. And indeed, all of us as Nigerians, we must stand by our law enforcement, the military, those who are in the forefront of this war against the extremists. All of us must come together as a country. It's a time that calls for us to come together, forget all whatever that things that divide us. We need to stand up together and say no. We are human beings. We are one. We are Nigerians. There is an attack on all of us. Nigerians, it's time for us to stand up and say no. This is not the way we are. This is not how we are going to allow our name, our lives, and the name of the country to be painted and portrayed in the world. They are our own people. We are all together in this, and we must stand together. We shouldn't allow anything to divide us.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll speak again before the end of the visit. Thank you very much. All right, we're just speaking to Mr. Chairman of the EFCC, who's at the third edition of the Governor's Retreat in Lagos. Well, the recess is over and the speeches are continuing, but the focus again is agricultural production, how it will help to curb insecurity. We'll take you back to the retreat now.
Nigeria's huge economic potential, the agricultural transformation agenda, the priority commodity value chains, the youth agripreneur initiatives, business innovation platforms, and my conclusion. Well, for most of you who don't know IIT has been established in Nigeria since 1967 to help smallholder farmers raise agricultural production, improve food security, and increase income in sub-Saharan Africa. And our mandate is cassava, maize, yam, soybean, banana, plantains, and cowpea. And we also work for the humid tropics, not only of Africa, but including Asia and Latin America in terms of farming systems. We have headquarters in Ibadan, but we also have hubs in West Africa, Central Africa, Southern Africa, and Eastern Africa. Yeah, the key about Nigeria is without oil, can Nigeria reach the untapped potential of its agricultural sector for economic growth? I will say positively yes, because Nigeria has all what she can take to create another green revolution in this world, and this time in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. Because this has been mentioned earlier in the earlier presentations about the huge potential in terms of land, water, labor, and the internal markets because of its population. And if it can become globally competitive, then it can exploit all these to bring in the needed foreign exchange this country wants. In other words, bring Nigeria back to its glory days, in those days when people were talking about the groundnut pyramids of Kanu in the early 70s, when they were talking about cocoa in the Southwest, and so on and so forth. We do recognize that the Agricultural Transformation Program, CTA, of the federal government, which is for 2011 to 2015, is all about enhancing capacity for agricultural commodity chains of this country to function well, leading to industrialization and employment creation, food security, infrastructure investments, private sector leadership, supportive fiscal policies, and accessible market information systems to farmers. And many heads have been put together to come up with the target commodity value chains for the various regions of Nigeria, starting from the northeast, northwest, north central, on to the south, southeast, and southwest. But in all of these zones, you will realize, apart from the specificity of commodity with comparative advantage, you realize rice and cassava, livestock and fisheries, either inland or artisanal or ocean fisheries, marine fisheries, is featuring in each of the regions. This implies the importance of these commodities in Nigeria, and if Nigeria could do it well and do it right, it can become globally competitive again in the world in many of these commodities. For example, cassava. Nigeria is already the global leader of cassava. So why can't it capitalize on this leadership and make as much import substitution by using what it has to get what it wants in the case of cassava products? And where could funding come for some of these initiatives? The public-private partnership, this has been mentioned most of the times these days, joint ventures, private sector investment, foreign direct investments. And the outcome of the agricultural transformation agenda is basically to create more jobs, create wealth, and improve the food security in the country. And